Grace, please. You can't do this to me. I'm your husband. I made a mistake, okay? One mistake. You're going to throw everything we built away because of one mistake? Please, baby, I'm begging you. Look at me. I'm on my knees. I have never gotten on my knees for anyone in my entire life. Doesn't that tell you something? Doesn't that show you how much I love you? Grace, please, just listen to me.
You know what's funny, Derek? For 5 years, I was the one begging. I begged for your attention. I begged for your love. I begged for your honesty. And every single time, you looked me in the eyes and you lied. You lied with the same mouth you used to say your wedding vows. You lied with the same mouth you used to kiss my sister. So no, Derek. I am done listening. But don't worry. By the time I'm finished with you, the whole world will listen. But how did we get here? How did a love story that started with roses and promises end with tears and betrayal? Let me take you back to where it all began. Tasha, are you sitting down right now? Because if you're standing, you need to sit down immediately because what I'm about to tell you is going to make you fall over. You remember that business proposal I submitted to the Wellington Group 3 months ago? The one for the organic skincare line? The one you helped me proofread at 2 o'clock in the morning while we were eating cold pizza and crying over my failed relationships? Girl, stop playing with me right now. Are you telling me what I think you're telling me? Did they approve it? Grace, if you were playing with my emotions right now, I swear on my grandmother's recipe book, I will drive to your apartment and throw your laptop out the window. They didn't just approve it, Tasha. They are investing $2 million into my company. $2 million. Do you understand what I'm saying? The little girl from Maple Street who couldn't afford to buy lunch in high school just got a $2 million investment. I literally had to read the email 17 times because I thought it was a scam. I even called the company to verify. Tasha, God is real. Everything we prayed for, everything we fasted for, everything we cried about, it's happening. Grace, I am literally crying right now. Like actual tears are running down my face and I don't even care because you deserve this more than anyone I have ever known in my entire life. You worked 3 jobs to save up the startup money. You slept in your car for 2 months when you couldn't make rent because you put everything into your business. You sacrificed everything. And now look at God. But Grace, listen to me very carefully, now that this money is coming, you need to be smart. You need to protect yourself. You need to be very, very careful about who you let into your life from this point forward. Money changes people, but more importantly, money reveals people. Oh Tasha, you worry too much. Nothing is going to change. I'm still the same Grace. I'm still going to be kind, I'm still going to be generous, and I'm still going to trust people until they give me a reason not to. That's just who I am, and no amount of money is going to change my heart. And that's exactly what scares me, Grace. Your heart is too big. And people with big hearts always end up getting hurt by people with big appetites. Just promise me you'll be careful. Promise me. I promise. Now stop worrying and start celebrating. Your best friend is about to be a millionaire, baby.
Excuse me, I am so sorry to bother you, and I know this is probably the most cliché thing a man can do in a restaurant. But I have been sitting at my table for the last 20 minutes, and I have not been able to take my eyes off you. And before you think I'm some kind of creep or a man who does this all the time, I want you to know that I have never done this before in my life. I'm actually a very shy person. But something about you, something about the way you carry yourself, the way you smiled at the waiter, the way you said thank you when he brought your water, something told me that if I didn't come over here and introduce myself, I would regret it for the rest of my life. My name is Derek. Derek Thompson.
Well, Derek Thompson, I have to say, that was quite an introduction. Very smooth. Almost too smooth, if I'm being honest. I've heard a lot of pickup lines in my life, but that one was actually kind of genuine. Or at least it sounded genuine. I'm Grace. Grace Williams. And I'm actually waiting for someone, so...
A boyfriend? Husband? Because if so, I completely understand, and I will walk away right now with nothing but respect and a broken heart that I will somehow learn to live with.
No. A business associate, actually. I run a company, Williams Organics. We produce organic skincare products. This is supposed to be a meeting with a potential distributor, but he's already 30 minutes late, so I'm starting to think he's not coming.
His loss. And honestly, his loss is my gain. Because now I get to sit here and talk to the most beautiful and clearly the most intelligent woman in this entire restaurant. You run your own company? That's incredible. Do you know how many people dream about doing what you're doing and never have the courage to actually do it? You're not just beautiful, Grace, you're powerful. And there is nothing more attractive in this world than a woman who knows her worth and builds her own empire.
Okay, Derek Thompson. You can sit down. But just for a few minutes.
A few minutes is all I need. I promise you, by the time those few minutes are over, you're going to want to give me a few more. And then a few more after that. And before you know it, we'll be old and gray, sitting on a porch somewhere, and you'll look at me and say, I'm so glad I let that strange man sit at my table in that restaurant.
You are incredibly confident for someone who just walked up to a stranger's table.
It's not confidence, Grace. It's faith. I believe that some people are meant to meet. And I believe you and I were meant to meet tonight. Call it destiny, call it God's plan, call it whatever you want, but I felt it the moment I saw you. And I think, deep down, you feel it too.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You met this man, this Derek, at a restaurant 2 weeks ago, and since then you've gone on 7 dates. He's sent you flowers every single day. He calls you every morning to say good morning and every night to say good night, and now you're telling me that you think he might be the one? Grace, do you hear yourself right now? Do you hear how fast this is moving? This isn't a romance. This is a Formula 1 race, and you're about to crash into a wall. Tasha, why can't you just be happy for me? For the first time in my life, I've met a man who actually sees me. Not my money, not my company, not what I can do for him. He sees me. Do you know how long I've been waiting for that? Do you know how many nights I cried because I thought I would never find someone who loved me for me? Derek is different. I can feel it in my soul. He's kind, he's attentive, he's thoughtful, he's supportive, he's everything I've ever prayed for. And what does he do for a living, Grace? You've told me about his smile, his cologne, his romantic speeches, and the way he opens doors for you. But you haven't told me one single thing about what this man does to pay his bills. Where does he work? What's his income? Does he have savings? Does he have debt? These are important questions, Grace. Love doesn't pay the mortgage. Love doesn't protect you from a man who sees your bank account as his retirement plan. He's between jobs right now, okay. He used to work in marketing, but the company downsized and he got laid off. It happens to people, Tasha. Not everyone is as fortunate as we are. And you know what? He was honest about it. He told me on our second date. He said, Grace, I want to be transparent with you. I don't have a lot of money right now. I'm going through a tough time financially. And if that's a deal breaker for you, I understand. Do you know how much courage it takes for a man to say that? Most men would lie and pretend to be rich. Derek was honest with me. That's how I know he's real. Or, and hear me out, Grace, or that's exactly what a smart manipulator would say. Think about it. If he came to you pretending to be rich, you would eventually find out the truth and leave him. But if he comes to you pretending to be humble and honest about being broke, your big, generous, beautiful heart would feel sympathy for him. You would feel like he's different because he was honest. Grace, sometimes the most dangerous lies are wrapped in the truth. I'm not saying he's definitely a bad guy. I'm saying slow down. Protect yourself. Get to know him for at least a year before you make any big decisions. Can you promise me that? At least 1 year? Fine. 1 year. I promise. Are you happy now? I'll be happy when you're happy and safe. Those two things are not always the same, Grace. Remember that.
Vanessa, baby, you should have seen her face tonight. She was practically melting in her chair. I told her that thing about being honest about my finances, and she ate it up like it was chocolate cake. I'm telling you, this woman is so trusting, it's almost too easy. 2 more months, maybe 3, and I'll propose. Once that ring is on her finger, we're set for life, baby. You and me. That's the plan. That's always been the plan.
Well, you better move faster, Derek, because I'm getting tired of waiting. I'm the one who told you about my sister's company in the first place. I'm the one who found out which restaurant she'd be at that night. I'm the one who set this entire thing up. So don't you dare forget who's really running this show. Grace has always had everything, the brains, the business, the success, while I got nothing. Our mother spent every dime she had putting Grace through school while I had to figure things out on my own. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever Grace has, half of it belongs to me. And you're going to help me get it.
Relax, baby. I know the plan. I married Grace. I get access to her accounts, her properties, her investments, everything. And then, when the time is right, we take what we need and disappear. But I have to play this smart. She's got a friend, Tasha, who doesn't trust me. She's been asking questions. I can tell Grace listens to her. If I push too hard, Tasha's going to convince Grace to leave me before I can lock this down. So I need to be patient. I need to be the perfect boyfriend, the perfect fiancé, the perfect husband. And then, when Grace least expects it, we strike.
You just make sure you keep your eyes on the prize, Derek. My sister might be smart when it comes to business, but when it comes to love, she's dumb as a rock. She's been desperate for a man her whole life. All you have to do is keep telling her she's beautiful, keep opening doors, keep saying I love you, and she'll hand you the keys to the kingdom. That's how my sister works. Give her love, and she'll give you everything.
Don't worry, Vanessa. By this time next year, I'll be her husband. And everything she owns will be at our fingertips. Just trust me.
I trust you, baby. But don't fall in love with her for real. Remember, I'm the one you love. She's just the bank account.
Always, baby. Always. Grace, from the moment I sat down at your table in that restaurant almost a year ago, I knew that my life was about to change forever. You didn't just give me a chance, you gave me hope. When the world had written me off, when I had nothing to offer, when most women would have walked away, you stayed. You believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. You supported me. You encouraged me. You loved me, not for what I had, but for who I am. And I wake up every single morning thanking God that He put you in my path. Grace Williams, you are the most kind, most generous, most beautiful, most intelligent woman I have ever known. And I don't want to spend another day on this earth without calling you my wife. So I'm asking you, right here, right now, in front of God and these stars, will you marry me? Will you let me spend the rest of my life trying to make you as happy as you've made me?
Derek, I have waited my entire life for this moment. My entire life. When I was a little girl, I used to pray every night for God to send me someone who would love me, really love me, for exactly who I am. Not for my money, not for my success, not for what I could give them, but for my heart. And then you showed up. You showed up at the exact moment I had given up on love. You showed up when I was convinced that I was going to spend the rest of my life alone. And you proved me wrong. You proved that real love exists. You proved that good men still exist. So yes, Derek. Yes. 1,000 times yes. I will marry you. I will spend the rest of my life with you.
You've just made me the happiest man alive, Grace. I promise you, I will never hurt you. I will never betray you. I will never give you a reason to doubt my love. You have my word. You have my heart. Forever.
Forever. Grace thought she had found her forever. But what she didn't know was that her forever had an expiration date. And the person who would destroy her world was the person she least expected. Derek, can you come here for a second? I need to talk to you about something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. I was going through our joint account statement today, the one I set up for our household expenses, and I noticed something strange. There have been multiple withdrawals over the past 3 months that I can't account for. $5,000 here, $8,000 there, $12,000 last week. That's over $40,000 in unexplained withdrawals, Derek. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I need to understand where this money is going because it's certainly not going to groceries or utility bills.
Grace, are you seriously interrogating me about money right now? Is that what we're doing? Because last time I checked, I am your husband, not your employee. I don't report to you. I don't need to submit an expense report every time I spend money from an account that has my name on it too. You know what? This is exactly what Tasha warned you about, isn't it? She probably told you to monitor the accounts, to watch every dollar, to treat me like a suspect. You know, sometimes I wonder if you married me or if you married Tasha, because it seems like her opinion matters more to you than mine does.
Derek, don't turn this around on Tasha. She has nothing to do with this. I'm asking you a simple question. $40,000 is not pocket change. Even with my income, that's a significant amount of money that just vanished. I'm not trying to control you. I'm not trying to make you feel small. I just want transparency. We're partners, Derek. Partners communicate. Partners are open with each other. So please, just tell me, where did the money go?
You're right. You're absolutely right, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gotten defensive like that. The truth is, I've been investing. I met this guy at the gym, a financial advisor, and he told me about some investment opportunities. I didn't want to tell you because I wanted to surprise you. I wanted to show you that I could contribute to our finances too. You've done so much for us, Grace. You built this life. You paid for this house. You pay for everything. And sometimes it makes me feel like less of a man. I just wanted to do something on my own, something that would make you proud of me. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. That was wrong.
Oh, Derek. Baby, I had no idea you felt that way. I'm so sorry. I never wanted you to feel like you were less than anything. You are my husband, and that makes you my equal regardless of who earns what. And I think it's wonderful that you're trying to invest and grow financially. I just wish you had told me. We could have looked at the opportunities together. I have experience with investments, and I could have helped you evaluate whether they were legitimate.
You're right. From now on, no more secrets. I'll show you everything. I'll bring the investment documents home tomorrow, and we can go through them together. Deal?
Deal. And Derek? You never have to prove anything to me. I love you for who you are, not for what you earn. Never forget that.
I know, baby. I know.
Wow, Grace. You really went all out, didn't you? Italian marble floors, custom kitchen, walk-in closet the size of my entire apartment. Must be nice, huh? Must be really, really nice to have everything you ever wanted while your little sister is out here struggling to make rent every month. But hey, who's keeping track, right? Certainly not me. I'm just your little sister who you forgot existed the moment you got rich. Vanessa, that's not fair, and you know it. I have never forgotten about you. I send you money every single month. I paid off your student loans. I bought you a car last year, a brand new car, Vanessa. I offered to pay for you to go back to school, and you said no. I offered you a job in my company, and you said you didn't want charity. So what more do you want me to do? I can't force you to accept my help if you keep pushing me away. I love you. You're my sister. But I can't keep feeling guilty for being successful. I worked hard for everything I have. I sacrificed for years. I didn't get lucky, I got determined. Oh, here we go. The I worked hard speech. Grace, do you know what the difference between you and me is? Mom chose you. She chose to invest in you. She chose to support your dreams. She chose to sacrifice for your education while I was left to figure things out on my own. You didn't just work hard, Grace, you had a head start. And I've been running behind you my whole life, trying to catch up, while everyone compared me to their precious, perfect Grace. Why can't you be more like Grace? Why can't you get good grades like Grace? Why can't you be successful like Grace? Do you know what that does to a person? Do you know what it feels like to live in someone's shadow your entire life? Vanessa, I had no control over what Mom did. And I'm sorry that you feel like you were treated unfairly. I really am. But punishing me for Mom's decisions isn't going to change the past. What I can do is help you build your future. Let me help you, Vanessa. Please. Tell me what you need, and I'll do everything in my power to make it happen. You're my blood. You're the only sister I have. And no matter what, I will always be in your corner. You know what, Grace? You're right. I'm sorry. I'm just going through a lot right now, and I took it out on you. That wasn't fair. Can you forgive me? There is nothing to forgive. You're my sister. I love you. And I will always love you. No matter what. I love you too, sis. More than you know. Why is his phone going off at 1 o'clock in the morning? Reads the screen, I miss you, baby. When are you coming to see me? I need you tonight. From an unsaved number. What is this? Derek. Derek, wake up. Wake up right now.
What? What's happening? Is there fire?
No, there's no fire, Derek. But there might be about to be one because you have exactly 30 seconds to explain to me why someone is texting you at 1 in the morning saying, and let me quote this exactly, I miss you, baby. When are you coming to see me? I need you tonight. Who is sending you this message, Derek? And before you lie to me, before you insult my intelligence, think very carefully about what you're about to say because the next words that come out of your mouth will determine whether this marriage survives the night.
Grace, calm down. Just calm down. You're overreacting. This is obviously a wrong number. People get wrong number texts all the time. Some random person texted the wrong phone. That's it. That's all it is. You're going to destroy our marriage over a wrong number text? Really, Grace? After everything we've been through? Is this the level of trust you have in me? Because if it is, then maybe we have bigger problems than a text message.
A wrong number text that says I miss you, baby. A wrong number text at 1 in the morning? Derek, I was not born yesterday. Something is going on, and you are going to tell me the truth right now. Let me see your phone. Give me your phone and let me go through it. If you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to worry about.
I am not giving you my phone, Grace. I am a grown man. I have a right to privacy. And you going through my phone like some kind of detective is disrespectful and controlling. You know what? I'm sleeping on the couch tonight because I can't be around you when you're like this. We'll talk in the morning when you've calmed down and come to your senses.
Something is wrong. I can feel it. Something is very, very wrong. Tasha, I didn't sleep at all last night. Not 1 minute. I just laid there in the big empty bed staring at the ceiling, replaying everything in my head. The missing money, the late nights he claims he's at the gym, the way he guards his phone like it's a nuclear launch code, and now this text message at 1 in the morning. I feel like I'm going crazy, Tasha. Part of me wants to believe him, wants to believe it was just a wrong number, but something in my gut is screaming at me that something is wrong. And I don't know what to do. I love this man. I gave him everything. I built a life with him. But what if? What if everything has been a lie? Grace, I want you to listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to say is going to be hard to hear, but you need to hear it. I have kept my mouth shut for 2 years. 2 years, Grace. I kept quiet at your engagement party when I saw Derek looking at your financial portfolio on your laptop when he thought nobody was watching. I kept quiet at your wedding when I overheard him on the phone telling someone, and I could never prove who, that everything is going according to plan. I kept quiet when I noticed that every single time your sister Vanessa comes to town, Derek suddenly has errands to run or meetings to attend. I have been keeping quiet because I didn't want to hurt you. But I can't keep quiet anymore, Grace. Not after what you just told me. Something is going on with Derek, and I pray I'm wrong, but I think it involves your sister. My sister? Vanessa? Tasha, that is, no, absolutely not. Vanessa would never do that to me. She's my blood. She's my family. Whatever problems she and I have, she would never betray me like that. You're wrong, Tasha. You have to be wrong. Grace, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying something doesn't add up. And instead of sitting here guessing and driving yourself crazy, you need to find out the truth. Hire a private investigator. A professional. Someone who can follow Derek, monitor his movements, find out who he's really spending time with when he tells you he's at the gym or running errands. If I'm wrong, then great, you'll have peace of mind and I'll apologize to Derek myself. But if I'm right, Grace, you need to know. Because the longer this goes on, the more damage it will do. Not just to your marriage, but to your finances, your business, your mental health, everything. You owe it to yourself to find out the truth. Do you hear me? You owe it to yourself. Okay, Tasha. Find me a private investigator. The best one in the city. I need to know the truth, even if it destroys me. It won't destroy you, Grace. The truth never destroys strong women. It sets them free. Detective Cole, thank you for meeting with me on such short notice. I know your services don't come cheap, and I want you to know that money is not an issue. What I need from you is the absolute, unfiltered, raw truth about my husband, Derek Thompson. I need to know where he goes when he tells me he's at the gym. I need to know who he talks to when he steps outside to take phone calls. I need to know where $40,000 that disappeared from our joint account actually went. And most importantly, and this is the part that keeps me up at night, I need to know if he is having an affair. And if he is, I need to know with whom.
Mrs. Thompson, I've been doing this job for 18 years. I've handled hundreds of infidelity cases, financial fraud investigations, and background checks. And I want to be upfront with you. In my experience, when a spouse comes to me with the kind of concerns you're describing, about 80% of the time, their instincts are correct. The human gut is rarely wrong, especially when it comes to the people we love. Now, that doesn't mean your husband is guilty. It means your concerns are valid and worth investigating. Here's what I'll do. I'll put a surveillance team on your husband for 30 days. We'll track his movements, document who he meets with, photograph everything, and if necessary, we'll do a deep dive into his financial records, bank accounts, credit cards, any hidden accounts he might have. At the end of 30 days, I'll present you with a full report. Everything I find, good or bad, you'll see it. Are you prepared for that? Because sometimes the truth is heavier than the suspicion.
Detective Cole, I have spent the last 3 months living in uncertainty, and let me tell you something, uncertainty is its own kind of torture. It's worse than the truth, no matter how painful the truth might be. At least with the truth, I can make decisions. At least with the truth, I can take action. Right now, I'm paralyzed. I'm stuck between loving my husband and doubting everything he's ever told me. So yes, I'm prepared. Whatever you find, I can handle it. I've survived worse. I built a multi-million-dollar company from nothing. I survived poverty. I survived loneliness. I can survive the truth.
Then we have a deal, Mrs. Thompson. 30 days. I'll be in touch.
Pastor James, I don't know who else to turn to. I feel like my whole life is falling apart, and I'm trying so hard to hold it together, but I'm running out of strength. I hired a private investigator to follow my husband, and I haven't gotten the full report yet, but the detective called me yesterday and said he's already found significant evidence that I need to see. He wouldn't tell me over the phone. He said I need to come to his office next week to see everything in person. And Pastor, the way he said it, the tone of his voice, I could tell it was bad. I could feel it in my bones. Something terrible is coming, and I don't know if I'm strong enough to face it.
Grace, I have known you since you were a little girl sitting at the third row of this church with your mother and your sister. I watched you grow up. I watched you struggle. I watched you fall down and get back up more times than I could count. And I want to tell you something that I've learned in my 55 years on this earth and my 30 years of ministry. God never gives us more than we can handle. He doesn't. But He does sometimes allow storms into our lives to show us how strong we really are. Whatever you're about to find out about your husband, whatever the truth is, it will not destroy you. Do you know why? Because you are not built on Derek's love. You are not built on your marriage. You are built on faith, grace. Your foundation is God. And when your foundation is God, no storm, No betrayal, no heartbreak, no deception can bring you down. You might bend, but you will not break.
But Pastor, what if everything I believed about my marriage was a lie? What if the man I loved, the man I trusted with my heart and my life and my finances, what if he's been using me this whole time? How do I recover from that? How do I trust again? How do I love again?
You recover by doing exactly what you're doing right now, seeking the truth. You cannot heal from a wound you refuse to acknowledge. And if Derek has been dishonest with you, then discovering the truth isn't the end of your story, Grace. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you reclaim your power, your dignity, and your peace. And whatever happens, I want you to remember this: God sees everything. Every lie that's been told in the dark will be brought to light. Every deed done in secret will be exposed. And every person who has tried to take advantage of your kindness will face the consequences of their actions. Not because you seek revenge, but because God is a God of justice. Trust Him. Trust the process. And trust yourself.
Thank you, Pastor. I needed to hear that. I really needed to hear that.
Mrs. Thompson, thank you for coming in. Before I share my findings with you, I want to prepare you. What I'm about to show you is going to be extremely difficult to see and hear. I've seen many clients sit in that very chair, and I've learned that no amount of preparation truly makes it easier. But you asked for the truth, and the truth is what I have. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Show me everything.
Over the past 30 days, my team and I conducted comprehensive surveillance on your husband, Derek Thompson. Here is what we found. First, the affair. Your husband is not having an affair with a stranger, Mrs. Thompson. He is having an affair with your sister, Vanessa Williams. We have photographic evidence of Derek entering your sister's apartment on 14 separate occasions during the surveillance period. 14 times in 30 days. He typically arrives between 10 in the morning, after you leave for work, and leaves by 2 in the afternoon. We have photographs of them together at restaurants, at a hotel on 2 occasions, and pauses. We have photographs of them being physically affectionate in her apartment through an open window. I'm sorry.
My sister. My own sister. The sister I paid off student loans for. The sister I bought a car for. The sister I defended when Tasha tried to warn me. She's been with my husband?
There's more, Mrs. Thompson. And I'm afraid it gets worse. Second, the financial fraud. The $40,000 that disappeared from your joint account? It was transferred to a private account under the name V. Williams, your sister's account. But it doesn't stop there. Through our financial investigation, we discovered that Derek has been systematically transferring money from your joint household account to your sister for the entire duration of your marriage. The total amount transferred over 2 years is approximately $327,000. Additionally, he opened 3 credit cards in your company's name without your knowledge and has accumulated over $90,000 in debt on those cards. Third, and this is perhaps the most disturbing finding, this was planned. We obtained text messages between Derek and Vanessa dating back to before he even met you. Messages where they discussed targeting you, marrying you for your money, and eventually taking as much as they could. Mrs. Thompson, your husband and your sister have been conspiring against you since before your first date.
$327,000. $90,000 in fraudulent debt. 14 visits to my sister's apartment in 1 month. Text messages proving they planned this from the beginning. Detective Cole, I want you to compile every single piece of evidence, every photograph, every text message, every financial record, into a legally admissible format. I want timestamps. I want bank records. I want everything organized and airtight. Because what I'm about to do next, my husband and my sister are not going to see coming.
What are you planning to do, Mrs. Thompson?
I'm going to do what I do best, detective. I'm going to strategize. I'm going to plan. And I'm going to execute. They thought they were playing me. They have no idea who they were dealing with. They married the wrong woman. They betrayed the wrong woman. And they are about to learn that lesson the hard way. Mr. Henderson, I need you to listen very carefully because what I'm about to tell you is going to sound like a movie plot, but I assure you, every word is real and I have evidence to back up everything I'm about to say. My husband, Derek Thompson, has been having an affair with my sister, Vanessa Williams, since before we were even married. Their entire relationship with me was a scam, a calculated, premeditated scheme designed to marry me, gain access to my wealth, and steal from me systematically. Over the course of our 2-year marriage, my husband has transferred over $300,000 from our joint accounts to my sister. He has also opened fraudulent credit cards in my company's name and accumulated nearly $100,000 in debt. I have surveillance photographs, bank records, text message transcripts, and a private investigator's sworn report documenting all of this. I don't want a quiet divorce, Mr. Henderson. I want a complete and total dismantling of everything my husband and sister have built with my stolen money. I want him out of my house, out of my accounts, and out of my life, with nothing. And I want my sister held legally accountable for her role in this fraud. Can you help me?
Mrs. Thompson, in 20 years of practicing family and fraud law, I have seen some truly egregious cases of marital deception and financial exploitation. But this is next level. The level of premeditation, the coordination between your husband and sister, the systematic nature of the financial theft. This isn't just grounds for divorce. This is criminal fraud. Here's what I recommend. First, we file for an emergency divorce based on adultery and financial fraud. With the evidence you have, no judge in this state will deny it. Second, we petition the court to freeze all joint accounts immediately to prevent Derek from transferring any more money. Third, we file a civil lawsuit against both Derek and Vanessa for restitution of the stolen funds. Every dollar they took from you, we're getting back. And fourth, and this is where it gets serious, we file a criminal complaint for identity theft and financial fraud based on the credit cards he opened in your company's name. That's a felony, Mrs. Thompson. Your husband could face prison time.
Do it. All of it. Every single thing you just said, do it. But I need you to time everything perfectly. I don't want Derek or Vanessa to know anything is coming until it hits them. I want them blindsided. I want them to wake up one morning thinking everything is fine, and by lunchtime, their entire world has collapsed. Can you do that?
Mrs. Thompson, that's exactly what I do best. Give me 2 weeks to prepare everything. And when those 2 weeks are up, your husband and your sister are going to have a very, very bad day.
Mom, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. No deflecting, no changing the subject, no protecting anyone's feelings. Just the truth. Did you know about Derek and Vanessa? Grace, what are you talking about? Know about what? I don't know what you... Mom, stop. I know everything. I have photographs. I have bank records. I have text messages going back years. My husband has been sleeping with my sister since before our wedding, and they planned the whole thing together to steal my money. So I'm going to ask you one more time, and I need you to look me in the eyes when you answer. Did you know? I didn't know everything, Grace. I swear I didn't know the details. But Vanessa told me, about a year ago, that she and Derek had feelings for each other. She said it started before you two got married and that she tried to stop it but couldn't. She begged me not to tell you. She said it would destroy you, and Grace, I was trying to protect you. I was trying to protect both of you. You were so happy. Your marriage seemed so perfect. I thought if I could just talk some sense into Vanessa, if I could convince her to end it quietly, nobody would have to get hurt. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. But I did it because I love you, Grace. I love both of my daughters, and I couldn't bear the thought of watching one of you destroy the other. You knew. For an entire year, you sat across from me at Sunday dinners, you looked me in the face, you asked me about my marriage, you told me how lucky I was to have Derek, and you knew. You knew he was sleeping with my sister. You knew my marriage was a lie. And you said nothing. Mom, do you understand what you did? You didn't protect me. You protected them. You chose Vanessa, again. Just like you always have. My entire life, you have chosen her over me. You sacrificed for her, you made excuses for her, you covered for her, even when she was actively destroying my life. What kind of mother does that? What kind of mother watches her daughter's husband betray her with her own sister and says nothing? Grace, please, I'm sorry. I made a terrible mistake. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I could fix it without anyone getting hurt. Please, you have to forgive me. You're my daughter. You're my firstborn. I love you more than life itself. I can't even look at you right now, Mom. I love you, but right now, in this moment, I don't like you very much. You had a choice. You could have told me the truth and let me make my own decisions about my own life. Instead, you made the decision for me. You decided I didn't deserve to know that my husband and sister were betraying me. And that decision, that one decision, cost me years of my life, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and whatever was left of my ability to trust the people I love. I hope it was worth it, Mom. I truly hope it was worth it. Grace. What are you doing here? I wasn't expecting you. I was just about to go out, actually. Can we maybe reschedule? Nice place, Vanessa. Really nice. New couch? New TV? Is that a Louis Vuitton bag on the counter? Business must be really good for someone who told me 6 months ago that she could barely make rent. Where did all this money come from, Vanessa? Did you win the lottery? Get a promotion? Or have you been funding this lifestyle with the $327,000 that my husband has been funneling from our accounts into yours? Grace, I don't know what you're talking about. June 14th, Derek entering your apartment at 10:15 am. June 17th, you and Derek at the Marigold Hotel, room 214. June 23rd, Derek leaving your apartment at 1:45 p.m., kissing you at the door. Do you want me to keep going, Vanessa? Because I have 47 more photographs just like these. I also have your bank statements showing every single deposit Derek made into your account over the past 2 years. And my personal favorite, I have text messages. Text messages between you and Derek from before he even approached me at that restaurant. Including one particularly charming message from you that reads, and let me quote, "My sister might be smart when it comes to business, but when it comes to love, she's dumb as a rock." Do you remember that message, Vanessa? Because I've memorized it. I've read it so many times that it's burned into my brain. Grace. Please. Let me explain. Explain what, Vanessa? Explain how you sent my future husband to a restaurant where you knew I'd be alone? Explain how you coached him on exactly what to say to make me fall in love with him? Explain how you stood at my wedding as my maid of honor, Vanessa, knowing that you were sleeping with the groom? Explain how you sat in my home, ate at my table, hugged me, told me you loved me, all while stealing my money and my husband? What possible explanation could you give that would make any of this okay? I was jealous, Grace. I was jealous of everything. Your success, your money, your life, the way Mom always talked about you like you were some kind of saint. I was drowning in your shadow, and I snapped. Derek came to me first. He said he could make us both rich. He said all I had to do was point him in your direction. And I did it because I was angry, and I was broke, and I was tired of being the failure in the family. I know it was wrong. I know I destroyed everything. But you have to understand, I never hated you, Grace. I hated what your success did to me. I hated how small I felt every time someone mentioned your name. I wanted to feel like I mattered for once. I wanted to feel like I had something that was mine. You had something that was yours, Vanessa. You had a sister who loved you unconditionally. A sister who would have done anything for you. A sister who defended you when everyone else doubted you. You had that. And you threw it away for a con man and $300,000. I hope it was worth it, Vanessa. Because by this time next week, you won't have the money, you won't have Derek, and you certainly won't have me. Goodbye, Vanessa.
Morning, babe. You're up early. Is that French press coffee? Smells amazing. Hey, I was thinking we could go out to dinner tonight. That new Italian place downtown just opened and?
Sit down, Derek.
Okay. Is everything alright? You seem different this morning.
Sit down.
Grace, you're scaring me. What's going on?
What's going on is that I've spent the last 6 weeks doing something I should have done 2 years ago. I opened my eyes. I hired a private investigator, Derek. I've had you followed for 30 days. I know about Vanessa. I know about the apartment visits. I know about the hotel rooms. I know about the $327,000 you stole from our accounts and funneled to my sister. I know about the fraudulent credit cards you opened in my company's name. I know about the text messages you exchanged with Vanessa before you ever met me. I know about the plan, your little scheme to marry the stupid, trusting, lonely rich girl and bleed her dry. I know everything.
Grace, listen to me. Whatever you think you know, it's not what it looks like. That investigator twisted things. People can make anything look bad with photos and...
Save it. I'm not interested in your lies anymore. In fact, I'm not interested in anything you have to say. What I am interested in is telling you what's about to happen to you, so listen carefully. As of 9 o'clock this morning, our joint accounts have been frozen by court order. You have zero access to any of my money. My lawyer filed for emergency divorce yesterday on grounds of adultery and financial fraud. The court date is set for 3 weeks from now. Additionally, and this is my personal favorite part, a criminal complaint has been filed against you for identity theft and financial fraud for the credit cards you opened in my company's name. That's a felony, Derek. My lawyer says you could face up to 7 years in prison.
Grace, you can't do this. I'm your husband. We can work this out. Couples go to counseling for this kind of thing. I'll end it with Vanessa. I already ended it. It's over. She meant nothing to me. You're the one I love. You've always been the one I love. Please, Grace, don't throw our marriage away.
Our marriage? Derek, there was never a marriage. There was a con. There was a scam. There was a calculated, cold-blooded scheme to rob me of my money and my dignity. You didn't marry me, you targeted me. You didn't love me, you used me. And now, for the first time in our entire relationship, you're going to experience something you've never experienced with me before: consequences. You have until 5 o'clock this afternoon to pack your personal belongings and leave my house. Anything you don't take with you will be donated to charity. My lawyer will be in touch regarding the divorce proceedings. And Derek? Don't even think about running. My attorney has already notified the authorities about the fraud charges. If you try to leave the state, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
Grace, please. I have nowhere to go. I have nothing. Everything I have is because of you.
Exactly, Derek. Everything you have is because of me. And now, everything you've lost is because of you. 5 o'clock. Don't be here when I get back. Yes. Who are you?
My name is Arthur Henderson. I'm the attorney representing your sister, Grace Thompson, in her divorce proceedings and in a civil lawsuit against you. I'm here to serve you with these documents. Hand her a stack of papers. You are being sued for the full restitution of $327,000 that was illegally transferred to your bank account by Derek Thompson over the course of 2 years. You are also being named as a co-defendant in a fraud case. This means that you have 30 days to respond to this lawsuit. If you do not respond, a default judgment will be entered against you, and your wages will be garnished, your assets will be seized, and your bank accounts will be frozen until every penny has been recovered. Additionally, the district attorney's office has been made aware of your involvement in this scheme, and they may choose to file criminal charges at their discretion.
Criminal charges? This can't be happening. She can't do this. She's my sister. I'm her family. You can't sue family.
Ma'am, Mrs. Thompson Canan is suing you. Family is not a shield for criminal behavior. You conspired to defraud your own sister, and the evidence against you is overwhelming. Text messages, bank records, surveillance footage, it's all documented. My advice to you? Get a lawyer. A good one. Because you're going to need one. Have a good day, Miss Williams. Congratulations, Mrs. Thompson, or should I say, Miss Williams. The judge granted the divorce on grounds of adultery and fraud. Derek gets nothing. 0. No alimony, No property split, no access to your business assets, nothing. The prenuptial agreement you signed held up perfectly, especially given the fraud evidence. Additionally, the judge ordered full restitution of the $327,000 from both Derek and Vanessa, jointly and severally. And the criminal case for the fraudulent credit cards? The district attorney has formally charged Derek with 3 counts of identity theft and 2 counts of financial fraud. He was arrested in the courtroom, Grace. They put the handcuffs on him right there in front of the judge, the bailiffs, and everyone watching. He'll be arraigned tomorrow, and given the strength of the evidence, my colleague in the DA's office says he's looking at a minimum of 3 to 5 years.
You know, Mr. Henderson, I thought this moment would feel different. I thought I would feel victorious, or relieved, or powerful. But I just feel sad. Sad that it had to come to this. Sad that the man I loved turned out to be a stranger. Sad that my own sister hated me so much that she would conspire to destroy me. Sad that my mother knew and said nothing. I won the case, but I lost my family. And I'm not sure which loss hurts more.
Miss Williams, I've been practicing law for 2 decades, and I've learned that the bravest thing a person can do isn't winning a case. It's having the courage to walk away from people who don't deserve them, even when it breaks your heart. You did the brave thing. And the sad thing? That's going to pass. But the respect you've earned, from the court, from yourself, from everyone who watched you stand up and fight for your dignity, that's going to last forever. You should be proud of yourself, Grace. Not many people could have done what you did.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson, for everything. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to go see someone who's been waiting for this moment almost as long as I have. I am so proud of you, Grace. I don't even have words for how proud I am. You walked into that courtroom like a queen, and you walked out like a conqueror. You did what most people would never have the courage to do. You faced the truth, you faced the people who hurt you, and you stood your ground. I know this wasn't easy. I know your heart is broken. But Grace, listen to me, broken hearts heal. They always do. And yours is going to heal stronger than it was before, because now you know your own strength. Now you know what you're made of. And let me tell you something, you're made of steel, Grace Williams. Absolute steel. You know, Tasha, if it weren't for you, I might still be in that house, believing Derek's lies, watching my money disappear, and wondering why I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. You pushed me to investigate. You pushed me to face the truth. You were the only person in my life who loved me enough to be honest with me, even when the honesty was painful. Everyone else, my husband, my sister, my own mother, they all lied to protect themselves. But you risked our friendship to protect me. That takes a kind of love that most people never experience in their entire lives, and I will never, ever forget it. You are not just my best friend, Tasha. You're my sister. The only real sister I've ever had. Don't you dare make me cry right now, Grace Williams. I did not put on waterproof mascara for nothing. But seriously, what's next? What's the next chapter? Because knowing you, you've already got a plan. The next chapter? I'm going to rebuild. Not just my finances, although my accountant says we'll recover every stolen dollar within 6 months, but my life. I'm going to expand my business. I'm going to launch the International Division 1 I've been planning. I'm going to travel. I'm going to heal. And most importantly, I'm going to learn to trust again, carefully, slowly, but I'll get there. Derek tried to break me. Vanessa tried to destroy me. My mother tried to keep me blind. And you know what? They all failed. Because you can't destroy a woman who knows her worth. You can hurt her, yes. You can knock her down, absolutely. But destroy her? Never. Not a woman like me. And not with a friend like you by my side. To new beginnings. To new beginnings. And to never settling for less than we deserve, ever again.
I know you're the one who investigated me. I know you're the one who put together the file that destroyed my life. I shouldn't even be talking to you. But Grace won't take my calls. Her lawyer blocked all my letters, and I need someone, anyone, to get a message to her. Please. I'm begging you. I need her to know that I'm sorry. Not just sorry because I got caught, and not just sorry because I am sitting in this cell wearing this uniform and eating food that doesn't have any flavor. I'm sorry because somewhere along the way, something happened that wasn't supposed to happen. I fell in love with her. For real. I know that sounds crazy coming from me. I know I planned the whole thing. I know I lied to her every single day. But Grace is the kind of person who makes you want to be better. She was kind to me when she didn't have to be. She believed in me when nobody else did. She loved me with everything she had, and I repaid her by stabbing her in the back. And now, sitting in this cell with nothing but time and my own thoughts, I realized that I had something real, something most people never find, and they threw it away for money. Money that's gone now. Vanessa's gone. Freedom's gone. Everything's gone. And all I'm left with is the memory of a woman who loved me unconditionally, and the knowledge that I will never deserve her forgiveness. Mr. Thompson, I've been a detective for 18 years, and I've heard a lot of people say they're sorry after they've been caught. The question isn't whether you're sorry. The question is whether you would have been sorry if you hadn't been caught. And we both know the answer to that. I'll pass your message to Mrs. Williams, but I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for a response. She's moved on. And if I were you, I'd spend my time in here figuring out who I want to be when I get out, instead of mourning the woman I destroyed while I was free. Good day, Mr. Thompson.
Mom? It's me. I know you don't want to talk to me right now, and I don't blame you, but I need to tell someone what's happening because I feel like I'm losing my mind. The court garnished my wages. Half of every paycheck I earn goes straight to paying back the money I stole from Grace. I had to sell everything, the furniture, the bags, the jewelry, the car Grace bought me, everything, just to keep up with the payments and not go to jail. I lost my apartment and now I'm living in a studio the size of a closet. I have no friends because everyone found out what I did and they all turned their backs on me. Derek is in prison, so that's obviously over. And Grace won't even acknowledge my existence. I sent her 23 letters, Mom. 23. She didn't respond to a single one. And the worst part? I deserve it. I deserve all of it. I was so consumed with jealousy, so blinded by resentment, that I destroyed the one person in this world who genuinely cared about me. Grace didn't just give me money, Mom. She gave me love. Real, unconditional love. And I weaponized it against her. What kind of person does that? What kind of monster have I become? Vanessa, you are not a monster. You are a broken woman who made terrible, terrible choices. And I am partly to blame for that. I see that now. I didn't give you the same support I gave Grace. I didn't nurture your dreams the way I nurtured hers. And over time, that inequality turned into resentment, and that resentment turned into something dark and destructive. I should have done better. I should have loved you both equally. And I should have told Grace the truth the moment I found out what was happening instead of hiding behind the excuse that I was protecting everyone. The truth is, I was protecting myself. I was protecting myself from the guilt of knowing I contributed to the rivalry between my own daughters. But Vanessa, listen to me, it's not too late to change. It's not too late to become a better person. You can't undo what you did, but you can make sure you never do anything like it again. And maybe, one day, if you prove through your actions that you've truly changed, Grace might find it in her heart to forgive you. Not today. Not tomorrow. But maybe one day. Do you really believe that, Mom? Do you really believe Grace could ever forgive me after what I did? I believe that Grace has the biggest heart of anyone I've ever known. And I believe that big hearts are capable of big forgiveness. But forgiveness isn't free, Vanessa. You have to earn it. And that starts with becoming the kind of person who deserves it.
Grace, I have to tell you, in 30 years of investing, I have never been more impressed by anyone than I am by you right now. Most people who go through what you went through, the betrayal, the financial losses, the emotional devastation, they crumble. They close up shop. They hide. But you came back stronger. Your company's revenue is up 43% from last year. Your new international skincare line just got approved for distribution in 12 countries. You were featured on the cover of Forbes Businesswoman magazine last month. And now you're telling me you want to open a foundation for women who've been victims of financial abuse? Grace, you're not just a businesswoman. You're a force of nature.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. But I can't take all the credit. The truth is, what happened to me, as painful as it was, gave me a clarity and a fire that I never had before. Before Derek, I was successful, but I was naive. I trusted blindly. I gave without boundaries. I loved without protecting myself. The betrayal taught me that kindness without wisdom is dangerous. That generosity without discernment is reckless. And that love, real love, should never require you to sacrifice your dignity. Those lessons made me a better businesswoman, a better leader, and a better person. And now, with this foundation, I want to help other women learn those lessons without having to go through what I went through. I want to provide legal aid, financial literacy programs, and emotional support for women who are being exploited by the people they trust. Because my story could have ended very differently, Mr. Banks. If I hadn't had a best friend to push me to see the truth, if I hadn't had the financial resources to hire an investigator and a lawyer, I might still be trapped in that marriage, still being robbed blind, still believing the lies. Not every woman has those resources. But through this foundation, I can make sure they do.
Grace, consider me your first donor. I'm writing a check for $500,000 to the foundation today. And if you need more, you just call me. What you're doing isn't just business, it's legacy. And I'm honored to be part of it.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. Truly. This means the world to me. You've been sitting here for an hour, Grace. What are you writing? Another business proposal? A plan to take over the world? Because honestly, at this point, nothing would surprise me. No. I'm writing a letter. To myself. To the version of me who sat in that restaurant 6 years ago and let a charming stranger sit at her table. To the version of me who was so desperate for love that she ignored every red flag, every warning, every whisper of doubt. I'm writing to tell her that everything she's about to go through, the love, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the discovery, the fight, the victory, all of it was necessary. All of it was part of the plan. Not Derek's plan. Not Vanessa's plan. God's plan. Because God didn't let me go through that fire to burn me. He let me go through that fire to forge me. To make me stronger. To make me wiser. To make me the woman I am today, a woman who knows her worth, protects her peace, and never, ever settles for less than she deserves. That's beautiful, Grace. And it's true. Every word of it. You know what I see when I look at you? I don't see a woman who was betrayed. I don't see a victim. I see a woman who was tested by the worst kind of treachery, betrayal by a husband and a sister, and came out on the other side more powerful, more compassionate, and more determined than ever. You didn't just survive, Grace. You transformed. And that's the part that makes me proudest. Not the money you recovered. Not the business success. Not the court victory. The transformation. You went from a woman who was afraid to be alone to a woman who is complete on her own. And that, my friend, is the greatest revenge of all. You know what, Tasha? You're right. The greatest revenge isn't getting even. It's getting better. It's waking up every morning in a life that you built with your own hands, surrounded by people who genuinely love you, doing work that matters, and knowing, deep in your soul, that nothing and no one can ever break you again. That's the real victory. Not what happens in the courtroom. What happens in here. Puts hand on heart when your heart is whole, when your mind is clear, when your spirit is at peace. That's when you know you've won. Not just the battle. The war. To winning the war. To winning the war. And to the women out there watching this, the ones who are in their own battles right now, the ones who are being lied to, betrayed, used, and underestimated, I want you to know something. Your story is not over. Your pain is not permanent. And the people who hurt you? They don't get to write your ending. You do. So pick up your pen. Square your shoulders. Lift your head. And write yourself the most beautiful, powerful, triumphant ending that the world has ever seen. Because you deserve it. You are worthy of it. And no one, no man, no woman, no lie, no betrayal, can take that away from you. Ever. Amen. Amen.
Grace Williams walked through fire and came out gold. She lost a husband, but found herself. She lost a sister, but gained her freedom. She lost her trust in people, but gained an unshakable trust in God and in her own strength. And today, she runs a multi-million-dollar empire and a foundation that has helped over 2,000 women escape financial abuse. Derek Thompson is serving a 5-year prison sentence. Vanessa Williams is slowly rebuilding her life and, for the first time, doing it honestly. Margaret eventually sought therapy and is working to repair her relationship with both daughters. And Tasha? Tasha is still Grace's best friend. Some things never change. And some people? Some people are simply angels in human form. This story is dedicated to every woman who has ever been betrayed by someone she loved and found the courage to rise again. Your pain is valid. Your anger is justified. And your comeback? It's going to be legendary. If this story touched your heart, subscribe for more powerful life stories every week. Drop a currency sign, Isadia, in the comments if you believe Grace deserved better. And share this video with someone who needs to hear this message today.